I think there's something wrong with Northstar. Let's see if we can diagnose this. You see me? Come on, look at me when I'm talking to you. Are you sad because you weren't my first choice? Well, I'm sorry. Maybe we can work out our differences. Alright, let's get in here and see if all our systems are working. We have electrical smoke up, we can see our health, our heads-up display is malfunctioning. It wasn't telling me that that was already analyzed. Come on. I never see this kind of problem with the eye on AI. And what other cutbacks were there? Why don't we have some decent batteries in this railgun? It doesn't hold a charge. The batteries are pooched. I have 3 dashes plus a hover, yet I can't find anybody. Are my boosters that loud? They need to invest in some sort of noise dampening system. People know I'm coming every time. Where are you going? Not that way. Let's see if we can stomp you. Nope. I got chicken legs. So you're a giant robot, but you can't step on anyone because you got peg legs. And whenever you get down to 2 bars, it practically feels like you're doomed, so you might as well eject anyways. This Titan may just be broken. Yeah, it's definitely broken. It's broken if you're Scorch. This matchup, it's broken. Full health against the Doom Titan. Yeah, I had my core, but the way you can space, I got 3 boosts. And a hover. You're not catching up to me. None of the big boys are. So let me talk to you guys a couple of things that are important to this Titan in particular, because it is the definition of a glass cannon. It does a lot of damage, but it has no health. So you want to minimize your damage all the time. So let me show you something I think is really important, and that's Archer rockets. You got to be able to dodge them. And you're going to notice that there was no beeping because he's so close. At medium, it makes the most sense. At long, while it shoots, you hear a beep, and then it continues on its trail, and then it hits you if you put down your guard. So knowing how far they are makes a difference on how you're going to dodge and if the sound's going to help you or not. So if you guys haven't put it together yet, I don't think this Titan's broken. I was just fooling around in the beginning. This Titan's actually unbelievably strong. It only seems broken if you don't know much about it, like how to take advantage of its hover by actually taking shortcuts on the map with it, or, you know, all its little tricks that it can do. I think it's better than having a vortex shield if you can just dodge things naturally. And with this Titan, you know, through dashes, the hover, it gets you out of, like, you know, the arc waves. It gets you away from most Scorch attacks. It'll get you, it'll just clear the core, you know. So it's pretty awesome. Like, this Titan is unbelievably good. It seems broken if you're terrible with it. Same with Ronin, right? But if you're terrible with it, it's just because you haven't found the block button. Otherwise, there's really no reason not to be at least decent with Ronin. So I've been in these fights, and it doesn't just have to be in this Titan, but where you're dodging things from in front of you and behind you, you can dodge Archer rockets that are locked on behind you. You just do the exact same strafe, just backwards. I don't know if it works forwards. But I don't know if that's in this, you know, we still have a lot of footage. It may actually be here, where the rocket does like crazy curves around you. Like sometimes they'll hit you in the back. So when you're kind of like committed to the path of dodging, you have to stay on it a little while longer because that rocket is still turning. This is pretty epic, actually. Yeah, we got some good clips in this video, so let's just chill for a bit. So right here I was looking to dodge, but for one I did too early because I wasn't sure how far away from me he was, and second it's just very tight in here. Like the angles are going to be particularly hard for you to judge out when you just don't have as much room to maneuver. I feel so dumb when that happens. when you hover and then you can't melee somebody, or when you hover too much and then your smoke doesn't connect with anything. I feel so dumb. They should just get rid of this map. It's so boring these days. It's always the same thing. There is not much room for change in this map. It's always the same. And there's very little you can do about getting wrecked by Titans sometimes. Unless, of course, you have the Thunderbolt and everyone's just spamming it. You just spam it. You don't even look for Titans. You see Titans on the top. You're like, 5 Titans? Okay. Here go all my Thunderbolts. Everybody put them on. Put on a Firestar. You can't even miss in this corridor. Where'd you go? He's gone. He's had enough. Look at this guy over here. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to pretend I didn't see anything. I'm just going to walk off in the opposite direction now. You know when you're on someone's back and you're actually hoping they just don't stop moving, because when they're moving, it's hard to shoot people off the back of people. The back of people. The back of Titans. Titans are peoples. You're like, BT is. I'm like, I don't have that emotional connection to BT. I never finished the campaign. And yes, I haven't yet, and it's probably going to be a while. Me and my son have been doing it. We're still on level 1. We just got all the batteries for BT, so I think it may be a while before we finish that game. That's a funny thing that happens. This is for all the Titans. Like sometimes when I'm trying to take shots where guys are really close, they just disappear because suddenly they're just on top of you. And there's definitely something, oh man, there's something. You can like practically dodge Titan punches sometimes to get onto them, and the speed definitely helps. Speed is a big factor if you want to get onto a Titan safely without getting your face smashed in. Earlier in this clip, I used my smoke plus my cluster bomb in order to get a guy off me when he was rodeoing me. That's practically a guaranteed kill. I think if you do it right away, there isn't even enough time for them to get off without dying. Whether it's worth blowing both those abilities at once, so is up to you. I hate that I can't do anything about this. Ion, I could have grabbed that. And it's funny how it kind of moves around your face and all that. But yeah, Ion would have just grabbed that. But not with this one. What was this one about? I think it had a few missile dodges that I liked. It may have even been on the Ion because I dodge missiles all the time. It's just fun to do. And whenever one hits me, I'm like, what are you doing? You will pay. I was playing against a team though that had a ton of them. Like I didn't know what to do because the locks were everywhere. You couldn't time them if you didn't see them. And when you feel that many locks on you, you panic. You panic a bit. But I guess that would really be the time for you to use these 3 dashes that I don't know if everybody else is running. I'm sure a lot of people would rather run the core, and I understand why. And I really like the core too. It does take considerably longer to build it up without having that perk, but if you do use the 3 dashes, I feel like you can be more of a Northstar and concern yourself more with your positioning instead of going all out with your core, which does hella damage, but you also usually end up taking some damage in return. Unless you use it against the right person. Again, in the right circumstances. Always circumstance-based. Oh, look at this guy's dodge. That was a good one. That was a good one. I know that dodge. And sometimes that's what you want to do. You want to bait in Titans that have this little health. Man, I'm getting a lot of batteries right now. And look, that smoke right there. I think it still hits, but it's in a pretty dumb spot. But we're practically at the end of this video, so before we end it, I just want to ask you guys a couple of questions. What do you guys know about Northstar? In particular, like, how do you get up to all these spots? Like, I don't know them all. Here I assumed I was just kind of running around. I'm like, oh, that looks like an edge I can get on. I'm sure somewhere along here I can get on there somehow. I've seen people on there. Maybe it's from the other side. I'm still trying to get my aim down with this Titan, though. Obviously, that's the basic thing you need to get down. It's a little bit tough. I definitely got to hit more crits with it. It's going to be a change from my main Titan, but it's going to be a welcome change. So now I'm just going to have to get accustomed to Northstar in the same way that I did it with this Titan. That's only something I'm going to build up as I use the Titan more. Obviously, I spent a lot of time on Ion, and I'm going to be doing a video somewhat like this on Ion, but it's going to be very specific to just his energy management. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. So if you guys want to let me know a few things about Northstar, especially if you know just some easy positioning and you're actually able to describe how to do it. Because I know I've seen some and I've done some, but I don't know all that many. But again, I don't even know how useful they actually are. I imagine they're actually not all that useful. You shoot there from once and kind of like camping on top of the tower, and then somebody's just going to shoot you since you're a giant Titan, right? I'm sure someone's going to be able to snipe you out from your fancy spot. Anyways, that's pretty much the end of this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm Paper. Cut to you, and I'll see you guys next time. What is this guy doing? He's like, I'm doing it, I'm doing it. I'm gonna get away. Almost.